Hey, mighty men of God, it's Dr. Joe here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way, providing with real answers to real problems in the real world, helping Christian men win at what matters most. What does it mean to be a godly woman? Now, you didn't see that coming, did you? Well, I got to tell you, man, you guys know that I work with men, I disciple men in our ministry, Real Men Connect. But I got an email. We get emails from women all the time, usually complaining about their husbands and what they can do or how to refer them to us and say, man, they need a ministry like yours. How can I get them in contact with you? But I received a different type of email. And the email came from a woman who was not complaining about her boyfriend, even though she had a boyfriend, was not complaining about men and did not have a question about men. She had a question for me about women, which I thought was kind of strange. And her question that she had me about women, she said, what does it mean to be a godly woman? In other words, what would a godly woman look like and how should she lead? Now, the reason why she was asking me, she explained in her email, is that she loved our show and her boyfriend listens to our show. And she said that's how she found out about it. And she said she found herself listening to it as well, thinking she can learn a lot from it. And so while she's listening to it, she says, wow, I wish they had something like this for women. Real Men Connect, the Real Men Connect podcast is so raw and they're so authentic and they're so real. And they're talking about leadership and teaching men how to be leaders. And then she said she started looking for podcasts about that for women and she could not find one, which is a good hint for somebody out there who's watching this. If you are a woman, you might want to start one. So she couldn't find one. So she asked me, she says, wow, she wished there was something to teach her how to be a godly woman, a woman of leadership. And so when I saw her email, it touched my heart. So I reached out to her and I asked her, and I told her, I said, hey, let's set up a call. And I said, I will give you some insights based on my knowledge of men on what I would teach a woman. And so now I know this video can get me in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to make it real short because I'm going to tell you 3 things that I told her. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of other lessons that I could have taught her about, quote, being a godly woman and a woman who's a strong leader in Christ. But I focused on the 3 things that I thought, at least for me, understanding men, what I think men need when it comes to women. Let me say that again. What we need as men when it comes to women. So I put it in the context of being a wife. Now, I told her if you're not a wife and you're single, because she's single, but she's with a boyfriend, that if you're single, you're still going to do these things. You're just not going to do it for your husband. You're doing it for others. But if you're a wife, you are to do this for your man. And here were the 3 things I told her. Number 1, I said, if I was a woman and I'm married or I'm in a relationship with a man and who God has sent me to be with that man, to be his helpmeet, to walk alongside of him, what I would do, first and foremost, I said I would inspire him. I would inspire him. Now, what I mean by inspire him, I say I would inspire him with my faith in God, because I would love God and seek God so much that it would either get him to step up as a man of God or to step out and walk away from me because he's intimidated by my fire and my vigor and my seeking of God. In other words, I say if I was a woman, I would inspire a man to step up his faith, to step up as a man, to go deeper in his relationship with Christ, because he will watch my faith and be inspired by it to be better the man that God has called him and created him to be. So I said, if I was a woman, I would inspire him with my faith. Number 2, I said, I will be his biggest cheerleader. I would encourage him. And the way I would encourage him, because not only would I inspire him, I would encourage him by treating him as if he's the man he's already capable of becoming. I said, I wouldn't sit there and complain and tell him what he's not and start whining about this, whining about that, and browbeating him and making him feel emasculated. Even though I know a lot of women don't do that, but it comes across that way to a lot of men. I said, so as a woman, I will be aware of that even if I'm trying to help him, he can look at it as being somewhat criticism or whatever. So I'm going to be his biggest encourager and cheerleader. And I'm going to treat him as if he's already a man he's capable of becoming. Because what will happen if you treat him as he should be and as he could be, he will be what God created him to be. Because you're going to inspire him to do it. So I'll be a big encourager. And the 3rd thing I told her that I would do is I would know how to carefront him. I would carefront him in the spirit of God. Now, I told you this was the trickiest one. And again, this is just my experience working with men and what I see that what we struggle and what we complain about and what we have a hard time overcoming. I said, we are to confront sin. But the thing is, most women were not taught how to confront sin in their husband. And there's a way you can do it. Christ has shown us this way of how to do it. And a lot of women, a lot of men weren't shown how to carefront sin. And I said, where I would tell her, I said, if I was a woman, the way I would carefront sin is I would do what Jesus did. I would ask a lot of questions, but I'll ask questions in the spirit. So if my husband or that boyfriend is stuck on stupid, I said, I would ask questions like this. What does God say about that? How would God feel about that? Will God be pleased with this and what we're doing and what you said? What do you think is God's best for us in this situation? What will be most pleasing to him? Is this aligned with his word, his character? Is this something that will make God smile? What do you think we should do? What do you think God is asking us to do in this situation? You know, I got to tell you, I'm having a hard time what you told me just now, and I need you to pray for me. Can you pray for me and ask God to help me with this? Because right now I'm walking in my feelings and my emotions, and I don't want to lash out at you. Could you pray for me in this area? So what I told her, I said, if I was a woman, I would know how to carefront sin by not pointing at my feelings and my emotions and what I'm lacking, but I will point him back to God to seek God. Because if he's seeking God the right way, he will treat me the right way. Always point him back to God. When you carefront him, point him back to the Father. So when he gets his instructions from the Father, he'll know how to treat the daughter, if that makes sense. So probably going to get a lot of heat from women about this video. Who are you to be a man trying to tell us how to be a woman? She asked. So I just gave her the honest truth based on knowing men the way I do. But I would love to hear your comments and what you think about if you were, as a man, if you were a woman, what would you teach women on how to be women? What a great question. I'd love to see some of those in the comments if you guys get a chance. But anyway, so remember, we're males by birth, but we are men by choice. So each and every day, choose to be the man that God has called and created you to be, because a male is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. So stay strong, stay blessed, stay connected, because real men do connect, but most importantly, stay in God's grip. And subscribe to this channel, because we try to drop a video every Tuesday. And so hopefully we'll be bringing some more stuff like this. All right. Stay blessed, stay strong, stay connected, stay in his grip.